Okay, let's talk automation. Automation is the thing that's going to let you work from the road and travel whenever you want. Because when you have all of your content that you've been working so hard to create automated, it makes this relationship so much easier with your business and the travel and finding that balance. So automation is one of my favorite things because it does give you that balance, but it also gives you the best end customer experience that you can possibly give. It lets you show up so authentically and yet so automatically for your customers that you don't even have to worry about it and they feel seen and held and loved in everything. So I want to address something though, because a lot of times people think automation is inauthentic. It does not have to be the case, especially if you're very upfront with the fact that it is automated. And the thing is, customers have gotten to know and gotten used to instant gratification. So when we don't automate for the sake of authenticity, we're actually going to lose them. We're actually going to make them feel a little bit of buyer's remorse and a little bit bummed that the person we just bought from does not actually answer me or does not respond to my DMs or does not show up consistently. It actually leads to cognitive dissonance rather than excitement and enthusiasm around your brand. So there's 5 ways that I love to teach people to automate, and I'm going to teach them to you right now. The first is to automate those direct messages, your DMs, like I just said. Direct messages are really your chance to sell on social media. And when somebody is writing to you inside your direct messages, you want to get back to them very, very quickly. The best way to do this is to use a tool called ManyChat. I have it linked in the workbook for you, but ManyChat is a great way so that when somebody sends a message, you can immediately write back and say, "Hey, I'm so glad that you sent that message. This is my personal bot checking in and just letting you know that I got it. I'm going to get back to you as soon as I can. But as you know, I travel a lot, so it might take me a little bit, but that does not mean it doesn't mean any less to me." Something like that, where they know like, oh, okay, it didn't just land in nowhere and someone actually is reading it and they're going to get back to me. And I get this because I know that she loves to travel. So I want to respect that. It makes them feel excited. They did get that instant gratification, that dose of dopamine that to see your name pop up as a response. And it does not have to dilute the relationship because you're honest with it being a bot. It's okay. It's totally okay. You're not being inauthentic. You're just being responsive. The other thing is social media. Being able to automate your social media means that you get to show up consistently. It means that you get to be there and be present in the moment. People follow you on social media, and when they do, those followers mean something. They matter. There are people behind those numbers, and the fact that they've chosen to follow you means that they care about what you have to post. If you were to ghost them on your social media, they'd feel a little bit lost and confused. That's not going to do anything for your business, nor is that going to do anything for your sales going forward. So being able to post consistently is not inauthentic. It just means that you're using your time wisely, and people like that. Make sure that when you're traveling, on your travel days, this is why I have this as one of those tasks on your travel days, you're still there answering comments and interacting and engaging with other people. Because if you don't do that, you are going to lose followers and lose that trust. They're going to think that you're just posting and not being responsive. We want to make this a social interaction so you can automate the post, but don't automate the comments. Don't automate those responses. I don't even think you can. I've never even looked into it because I don't think that it's that good of an idea for so many reasons. Okay, the next one, the third one, email. There are certain things you can automate in your email, and I think you should automate as much as you possibly can. So the first one, of course, is your newsletter. This is less automation and more scheduling out. But if you have a weekly newsletter like I do, being able to schedule it out so it's off your plate and you don't have to think about it, but you still know that you're getting in touch with your customers and your potential prospects for your business is so valuable. It lets you maintain that consistent letter that you're sending to the people who have raised their hand and asked for you to send them a letter. That is a big deal, and that means a lot. That is not something that is done very easily. So kudos to you for having an email list. And if you don't, I would highly recommend going to start one because people do want to hear from you. And this is such a great way to show up for them in such a personal way. The other thing to automate within your email is to make sure that you're sending things immediately. Again, it's that instant gratification, just like I was talking about with the DMs. So make sure you have automated sequences. I use a tool called ConvertKit. I have tried many, many tools and continue to come back to ConvertKit. A lot of the tools out there will let you set up these flows or these sequences or these visual automations, whatever it's called. It does not matter as long as you have them set up and in place so that when somebody signs up for something, you are continuously nurturing that relationship. What you would say to that person, the same people who are signing up each and every time, that doesn't change. So you can easily put this on autopilot, knowing that if they do respond, that response could be very personal. That response can come from you, and they can know that you are there on the other side of the inbox, on the other side of the screen, wanting that relationship and building that relationship. But to kick things off, automate away. It is totally allowed and should be done. It's the best time saver for you. The next thing that I love to do is Voxer. Voxer is a free walkie-talkie app, or there's of course a pro version too, but you can use the free one just as well. And it allows you to be in touch with your customers and be in touch with your clients. I love to use this instead of sitting on a Zoom call. I love to use this to send very personal voice notes to customers or to potential customers. I love it because it lets me stay in touch in a much more personal way. You can also even have a Voxer channel for your group program and help lead people through that and answer questions here and there. The only thing about Voxer is you cannot necessarily automate it, but it is nice to have in your tech stack because it lets you go and have that personal touch without having to hop onto a Zoom call and schedule out all these different meetings that might not let you leave at a moment's notice or be on the road as much as you want to be on the road. So that's why I include it here. Even though it's not technically an automation, it's still a very easy personal touch that you can use. The final one is to surprise and delight. So I am all about surprising and delighting my customers, and I love to have these little bonuses. So when you get to a certain point in your journey with me, you get free things. You get some free bonuses. You've completed this course, which means you're going to be unlocking a free template that you can use to set up your own welcome sequence for your own email. And this is a big deal because it lets you automate your email, which is exactly what we're talking about here. So hooray, confetti, let's unlock that free welcome sequence from me, a former copywriter, and you can use that to start your automation process. Now, the surprise and delight, the reason why I wanted to bring it up is that this is an automatic gift that I am giving to you. This is automatically unlocked for you. And we're talking about automation, right? I am now able to surprise and delight you because you've done the work and you've completed it and you've shown up. And as a reward for you doing this work and showing up for yourself, I'm giving you something in exchange. Now, the tool that I use to set this all up is called MemberVault. MemberVault, I've also linked to this in the show notes, or in the show notes. This is not a podcast. I've also linked to this in the program in your workbook, and you can set up your account for free. I love MemberVault because it is free to use up until a certain number of users or people who have signed up to receive information and products from you. That means that you only pay when you're making money. So you can go and set up your own way to make your offers, put your offers out there, and really connect with the people who you want to connect with and who need you, and then automatically surprise and delight them. This means so much to me because retention is big. I want to keep people coming back to work with me because I'm building these relationships, and relationships mean a lot to me, and I know that they mean a lot to you too. And this is a really great way for you to continue to build upon that relationship by doing an exchange, a value exchange. This is not just a one-sided thing. This is not a set it and forget it like I've said from the beginning. This is a relationship building tool, and automations will let you build those relationships.